I sold my body to science at Pharmaco here in Austin. And I was in there a month. I still have scars on my body to pay for the movie. And one of the guys that I was in the Pharmaco with for a month was this, wasn't an actor either, it was this guy named Peter Marquardt. And I remember we're watching movies while we're in there for a whole month, couldn't leave, and testing a drug that lowered your cholesterol. And I remember watching a movie with James Spader, and I looked at him and I thought, you kind of look like James Spader. And then I watched another movie, and there was Rutger Hauer. I said, you kind of look like Rutger Hauer too. Hey, I'm going to cast you as the bad guy. So when people watch it, they think maybe it's one of those guys. They go, hey, I think I've seen that guy before. So I thought he did a terrific job. He didn't speak a word of Spanish. He had all of his, that's why he wore sunglasses a lot, because he had his lines in his hand, and he'd be looking like that. You couldn't tell because the sunglasses were on. Peter Marquardt is here, Moco himself. I think one of the reasons why the actors were so good is because they didn't feel like they were making a movie. I mean, it was like that. I was by myself with a camera. There was not even a sound guy. I mean, even a documentary crew has a sound guy. It was me. They didn't feel like they were making a movie at all. So they had no nervousness because they thought, well, this is a joke, obviously. So everyone just performed, and one take of everything, and then I would record the dialogue. It was a leisurely 2-week shoot. So I'm surprised looking at it that you could really milk the footage. And the film was so expensive. That camera was loud. It would make a lot of noise. That's why you couldn't record sound. It would go, it sounded like all your money running away. So I was used to shooting video, which you could shoot forever on video, but film, a 10-minute reel costs, I don't know, 150 bucks, something. It went up to 7,000. We only shot 24 reels, and then you had to process it, and then you had to transfer it. So I would actually, this is how we would do action. Before he ran through the street, I would say, action. And then once they were good and running, then I would start filming. Then I would stop filming to save money. Cut. Then I would call cut. So I was really just shooting little pieces of film so that it even strung together is a miracle in itself. What do you want to say, Mike?
I just want to say Robert has been a brother to me, and he's been a genius since he was 12 years old. And I'm very proud to have had a great relationship for 30 years as a friend. And he's a very, very special friend to me.
There's this great movie of the week like dramatic moment in the making of Mariachi that Carlos was a part of. He was the one who always believed in us, and he would say, when we went to sell the movie and we weren't going to sell it, I mean, we're going to get $17,000 for it, maybe. They were going to give us the Mexican video division that we took it to was maybe going to give us $10,000. And I said, you know what? We thought we would make more than that. And even though it only cost $7,000, we'll make our money back. It cost me a lot of time. And I can't do it again. I know our plan was to make several, but we're not going to, if we don't sell this, we're not going to do another one. He said, so I'd say we're just going to quit. We're like, yeah, we're going to quit because I can't do it again. And I remember this tense moment, like I thought, wow, what if we did sell it? This would be such a great moment to look back on. And we didn't sell it. But it went to Columbia Pictures and it turned into a much bigger deal. But we almost gave up then. Had Columbia Pictures not taken it as an audition and then accidentally screen it to an audience and hear the audience reaction, it never would have happened. So it was really just by doing something like tonight, people watching it and enjoying it, that the movie even got a chance. Because I didn't even want it to be seen. I thought I could do a better job than that with a lot more money and a crew. This was really just a practice film. And there's something really special about, like I was saying, throwing it away and really just doing it from the heart and doing it just for fun and not having this preconceived idea. I don't think anybody ever makes a movie with that intention, that no one would see it. I mean, I literally hoped nobody would see it. That's why it's called El Mariachi, because who would rent an action movie in the Spanish video department called The Guitar Player? I mean, you wouldn't. I was a cartoonist, so I thought it'd be a funny joke that somebody goes, you know what, I'm going to give this movie a chance, and then pop it in and be totally surprised there's action in it. I thought that was why I did it. It was really just for practice. And I think that's why it kind of resonates with people, and really, more than that, inspires people to go say, well, hell, I could do that. And so I think a lot of other people went and did it because of that. What was your memory of shooting the movie, if you have any, because it was so quick?
Well, I don't have a lot to say, but I just know that kicking the shit out of somebody in 30 games of Battleship, and 20 years later, here we are.
We played a lot of Battleship in that hospital. There was not much else to do. Charles, did you want to ask a question, or do you remember anything about it that you wanted? Did you just notice when you were watching it?
Yeah, one of the things is talk about your editing. I want you to talk about editing, and then I want you to talk about your directing style. And so, since we have a couple of actors here, talk about your directing and your rehearsing or lack thereof, and the idea of getting the actors there for less than half a day and then turning them loose. That way you didn't have to feed them.
Yeah, right, that's right. We had, the idea was, since I had to load the cameras, it would be, we'd shoot one reel of film in the morning, then at lunch we'd go we'd send all the actors home so they can go get their own food. We'd go and I would change the reel, we'd have a leisurely lunch there at the house. And then I would put in a second reel of film. That's another 10 minutes. So we'd shoot 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes in the afternoon. And it was only a 14-day shoot. So we shot, pretty quick like that. And yeah, the trick with the editing was just using only the portion that we had shot. I didn't really shoot more than that. And so we'd screw up. Carlos would sometimes go, "Oh shit!" I said, "You're not supposed to have your jacket in that shot. You're supposed to have a jacket off." Well, let's shoot another take. So, no, we can't shoot another take because then it doubles our budget. So let's just do it. Next movie, well, be more careful. That scene at the beginning where he gets the coconut and he gets it and it says it's free coconut. That's only because we screwed up. He walked away. He forgot to pay the guy. So they were going, "Hey, wait, did you pay the guy? You can't just take a coconut." Well, let's go back and shoot. No, we can't go shoot it again. It doubles our film. We don't have the money for that. Let's think next time. Don't screw up anymore. We have one shot at this. I don't have to drive back. So then I was in the editing room going, okay, now what am I going to do? I'll just write that they give free coconuts. So forever, I'd be in Germany doing publicity for the movie, and the German guys, journalists are saying, "I can't wait to go to that town and get free coconuts." Ain't no free coconuts in that town, so that's a myth. But that's the kind of things and it's always funny, it always gets a laugh, which is always interesting. So sometimes, and that was one of the biggest lessons I learned. It's why I still shoot so fast. So when the actors come down, even on Machete Kills, they get there, they shoot the whole movie in one day, that actor, and then they're gone. Charlie Sheen was there, he shot 4 scenes and he was gone. And I was like, when you're under pressure and you're in a rush, you end up just having to do it. And the accidents and the mistakes, that's the stuff for years people come back and say, "My favorite part of the movie was the coconut." They're like, that was an accident. So you set yourself up from then on to make the movie just nothing but that shot. And I'm in the back of just your truck.
Yeah.
And I'm on the camera stands, it's not even a film camera stand, it's a still camera, so it's real flimsy. And I was back there, and I heard myself through the commentary. I'm glad I do those commentaries so I can remember how I did it. All my weight was on it, and I had a long lens on him, and the shake, people pay lots of money to get camera shake like that. I was on the set of Star Trek, and they had the Steadicam, and they had guys behind the Steadicam shaking it. 3 guys to get that. And it was just because I was on the back of a truck really trying to keep it smooth. And it was getting like that. And so I was zoomed in, and I'm doing the focus myself. You understand, in a real movie, you have a camera guy, like I'm the camera guy, then you got a guy there who's assisting you, who's changing the film. You got another guy there who's doing the focus for you. It's cake. Here I was having to keep the focus through there on the back of the truck with all my weight on it, and the blur actually helps. And that's why it cuts so fast between Carlos to the bad guy to the other bad guy. And then people laugh when they see that dog with the sunglasses, but that was just to save my ass because he was all out of focus and he was all out of frame. So I would cut away. Every time there's a really bad part, I would cut away. And when there was a good little part that almost looks like it's smooth, that's what I would use. That's how I did that. Yeah, way up there.
Could you talk about the music and how long that took and how much work that
This was the first time I had original music. I wish the guy was here. One of the guys, you see like 4 or 5 guys who did the music. The guy who did the singing for Carlos, he was an exterminator in town, wasn't he?
Yeah.
His hobby, he took me into a...
We found her at church.
We went to the church to pray for our movie, and we heard this guy singing Ave Maria. We go, "Ooh, this guy obviously is very talented." And he was a local exterminator that was singing for the church, and we asked him to write us a song, and he did. And I taped it with my Radio Shack mic and my Marantz tape recorder, and I sped it up in playback to sound more higher pitched for his voice, because this guy's voice was very low. So that was that guy. My brother did a song, my cousin did a song, and then a couple musicians in Austin that I had used on a short film did some keyboard. A lot of just rhythm stuff. You hear it's like a and some guitar. I mean, it's really just tonal stuff, and there's not a lot of music in this one. By the time we did Desperado, Mariachi had become more famous. I got Los Lobos. I got some really fantastic musicians. From then on, this one was very just literally family members and friends from town, each one doing a little piece. So we did it pretty quickly. It didn't take that long because everybody just handled a different scene, and I would use the same pieces of music over and over.
I want to ask a question. Hold on a second, we'll get to you. Let me ask Robert and Carlos as co-producers. When did you hear that the National Film Registry that had included El Mariachi in December? And what did you think when you got your certificates that you're now part of the film registry?
That's right. This movie is part of the National Library of Congress top 500. Only about 500 movies in there considered national treasures as far as a significant cultural value or something. And yeah, I heard about it on the internet. It was on the internet. I got a Google alert that said El Mariachi was one of the new movies chosen this year for being included in the registry. So I thought that was amazing. But I can see why, because it inspired so many people to go. I mean, things like Blair Witch Project and Paranormal Activity, people don't even think twice about making a movie for no money. Back then, $7,000 to make a movie sounded ridiculous. People couldn't even wrap their head around it. Now it sounds actually expensive because everybody's used to shoot digital. But back then, to shoot on film, it was just unheard of. I mean, they would go interview filmmakers and people. There's this movie that was made for $7,000. What do you think of that? And they just couldn't believe it. They go, "That's our coffee bill. We don't understand. We don't understand how that's possible." But because no one had ever tried it before. It wasn't that it was impossible. It just nobody had ever really applied video technique to shooting something on film. So it really it made sense to me at the time. And then everybody from that point on just went, "Columbia Pictures, why is it? Are we ready?"
I think the setup is ready, but you want to take a couple?
Sure. I think. Oh, the setup.
Yeah, we got some crew back there. Kayla's back there. This is from everyone. Camera crew, grip, electric, wardrobe, and it's a little camera case that Glenda Delgato has been trying to get me to make you for about a year now.
Wow, all right. I can't wait to see that. Oh, nice. That's beautiful.
That'll hold all your still cameras and
That's cool. Thank you, man.
far more dangerous than Mariachi's case.
Steve is my prop guy since dusk till dawn, and he came in for this audition to be my prop man, and he had a guitar case. So I said, I don't know, I might have to hire this guy already. I said, okay, what guitar did you bring for me to see for his audition? He opened it up and it was full of guns. I didn't even see that coming. Guns that he had made on other movies to show his work. Well, that's clever. Okay, you're hired. Been with me ever since. That was from Dusk Till Dawn.